going to draw a circle and do a massive brainstorm. Retrospective. Right, so what could we do? Do the DVDs, wilderness, years.
So there's quite a lot of ideas.
Finally got the prayers answered.
I would have thought by now I'll be around 1,000 or not that far off it.
What is the significance of this Spider-Man notebook? Stay tuned for the next Doctor Who retrospective.
In my last retrospective, I teased this Spider-Man notebook, and some people who were probably watching that video probably thought, what the hell has a Spider-Man notebook got to do with Doctor Who? Well, it's time to find out. We're going to go back to the past, further than we've ever been before, back to late 2006. I was 11 years old at the time, and I got this as a little present. It's just a notebook with Spider-Man on the front cover, and this just evokes so many memories. This whole video came about because I was clearing out my shelves a while back, and then I came across this, and it was like a time capsule. Bearing in mind, when I got this book, I was waiting for Series 3 of Doctor Who, and some of you are still probably wondering, well, what the hell's going on here? But if you've read the title of the video by now, I'm pretty sure that you will know what the deal is here. Quite like how the front cover does this. So, back in late 2006, I did all these little things like what seemed to be diary entries, and then I did some little short stories, which I might read after I'm done recording this. But if we go to here, I started doing this little escapade. I think by the time I got around to this, Series 3 was either still on the air or it had come and gone. And it is comic strips. And I know what you're thinking. You're probably thinking, that's a very pathetic attempt at drawing. You just did it with a blue pen. And you'd be right for thinking that. Bearing in mind I was around 12 years old at this point, so yeah, I did some comic strips. So here is Doctor Who with the 10 Doctors. Very interesting title for a story here, and here you've got these little stick people. I think that's meant to be the Doctor, or David Tennant as the Doctor. And that's meant to be the TARDIS. So yeah, I can do much better at drawing these days. Maybe not so much with people. I was never very good at drawing people, so that's why I always drew stick people. But other things like the TARDIS I might be able to do a better job at. It's a very interesting thing I did there, and oh, look at that. I think they're meant to be Cybermen. How weird. I've no idea what the storyline was for this, and you've got all of this stuff going on here. And then it ends and you just go to the next one. And I did this as a sort of pastime because I got pretty bored at high school, I've got to be honest with you, so I did more things like this back in the day. So here we have the second story, the Intergalactic Department, and then you've got Jadoon in this, it seems, and then you've got the third one. So look how fast that was. 2 pages later we're on to another story. So they were very short comic strips here, weren't they? So here's Robot Mania. I made my own little race of robots. And then we'll go to
Tyrannosaurus who? I think in this one I took the Doctor and Martha. I presume that's supposed to be Martha. I took them back to the prehistoric age. Bearing in mind I've not looked at this for well over 10 years. Put it this way, I've not looked at this since way before I started doing YouTube, and I started doing YouTube in 2012, so that just puts into perspective how long ago it's been. So here we got another one. It seems to be like a two-parter now. One small step for man. I wonder what the second part's going to be. I take it they go back to the moon landing here with a title like that. Oh yeah, look at that. To be continued. And then the next one is One Giant Leap for Mankind. Who would have thought it? What we got here? What's that? What on earth is that meant to be? Good lord. So there's a lot of things going on here, isn't there? And for some reason I did an adaptation of The Sound of Drums. Oh, I've got little things here. Toclafane. Got my attempt at the BBC logo. Laz Labs. For some reason I've got Jadoon. I've got the Lazarus Monster. I've got more Toclafane. And then got all this stuff going on. I think I used a little bit of artistic license just by having a quick glance at this. So you can see like how primitive all of my drawings are. But I must admit though, I do quite like that little thing I did here. And I put this here as well. Last of the Time Lords. As seen on television. That's quite cute, isn't it? And then I did this thing. Look at all this here. I've illustrated everything. It's like it's supposed to be the Ice Age. So yeah, I don't know what the hell's going on there. The Time Medallion, and I spelt medallion wrong. I think that's supposed to, yeah, it's pyramids that it looks like. You got little mummy there, just going hello. Don't know if you can read all the stuff. Our race need your blood. Why? Because you have the, what does that say? Can't even read the writing. My writing was very small back then, clearly. What we got here as well, murder on a spaceship. How interesting. This here, I take it, must be the TARDIS time rotor. And then here you've got what seems to be Jadoon again. So I must have really liked the Jadoon back then. Well, I still do like, but I must have had more of a liking to them. Look at this. This one's called The Jungle Run. Huh. Wasn't there a game called that? Jungle Run or Temple Run or something like that. I used to play that on my phone many years ago. Oh, look at this. Doctor Who, The Robots of Death. Now, I have to be honest with you, I don't remember doing this. This is not in any way an adaptation of the actual TV story, because I think at the time I wasn't very clued up on classic Who, so I had no idea there was a story called The Robots of Death. And yeah, for shame, I know. Can you believe it? There was a time that I did not know anything to do with the classic series. So much has changed in the intervening years. But yeah, I called something The Robots of Death, and yeah, I don't remember doing it one bit. Nothing in relation to the story at all. Goal Nemesis. Oh, it's Daleks, this. I quite like the little Dalek drawings I did back then, even though they're not that accurate. Oh, is that? That's supposed to be Davros. Okay, that's weird, I'm not gonna lie. For some reason I've given him weaponry, I didn't have that at all. So yeah, not accurate at all. I clearly did not know how to do Davros. I quite like that little drawing there, quite pleased with that. Oh, look at that, boom. And then that's the end of that recreation of the Daleks. Doctor Who, The Search. Don't know what that's all about. You've got all this stuff going on. Mission to Mars. Very interesting, isn't it? And then... what else is there? The Medical Doctor. Alright, okay. So as you might be able to tell, I just completely curated some of my more original storylines. I've got to say though, I think the drawings start to improve here. Look at this, the football matches, part 1. I'm gathering this is supposed to be like 1966 World Cup final, which ironically has been done in comic strip form since, in recent issues of Doctor Who magazine. What else have we got? The Future of Mankind. Oh, you got the final of 66 there, so it was the final 66. So yeah, I did it first. I did it back in 2007, but I cannot say that my idea was stolen, because this is a completely different storyline. And I believe I used the Reapers. Yeah, that's supposed to be a Reaper from Series 1, you know, that episode, Father's Day. So this is the Future of Mankind, and then we've got Mirror Image, whatever that's all about. Very unoriginal titles for these little stories I've done, I must say. Now what else have we got? So that's that. We've got Code 9, whatever the hell that is. The Trial. Got Jadoon again. How many times have I used the Jadoon in these? I must have been well obsessed with them. Some very inventive drawings going on here. I've got the Dalek here. Is that supposed to be... that's supposed to be a flashback of some sort? And then it ends there. And I never finished that on. So that's called Flight of the Golems. Or Golems, I don't know. And I've no idea what the storyline was going to be there, because I never finished it. I've no idea when this was. It might have been around late 2007-ish or so. Not got a clue. Completely honest with you, I've not got a clue. A lot of this I do not remember. But as soon as I saw it, I thought, oh yeah, there's been a lot of oh yeah moments in this. It never carried on though, that was it. And I think all the rest of this is just all empty. So that's a look back at my Spider-Man notebook. And yes, I used to do Doctor Who comic strips, although not to the best ability that some viewers may be used to.
I think it's safe to say that I had quite a bit of inventiveness when I was much younger. And of course, as I've got older, while I can be still inventive, like with the videos I make, for example, things like comic strips or short stories or anything like that, I don't tend to do these days, and that may be due to me taking on many responsibilities as an adult, such as work and family and friendships, relationships, etc. But it's funny to see like what things were like going back in time just by looking at that notebook. I've really enjoyed looking at that today, as it's uncovered so many memories, and some of them I remember and some of them I was like, well, I don't remember writing this at all. While I don't do that anymore, as I say, my inventiveness is still kicking around a little bit, just with ideas for videos I've got. For example, I've got this little piece of scrunched up paper here. Well, should we take a look at what this is all about, eh?
I found the scrunched up paper inside this mug, which incidentally is Doctor Who themed. I picked it up, and then not long after, I started to unravel it. Here is what I unravelled.
I guess you could say things do go full circle. And on that note, let's go back to a message from Past Me.
Don't forget to click the link below to subscribe to me, James Croft, aka the Obsessed Whovian 95. Have a great day.